Now to a mystery that has spanned 2 generations. What happened to a World War II soldier who never came home? In tonight's WFAA original, Kevin Reese introduces us to a Kaufman County woman searching for answers to honor a man she never met.
Just because I miss her, she leaves me by myself all the time.
It's a voice on a scratchy record some 70 years old.
This is Philip Snitches, the lady I love.
The voice of a World War II soldier.
The 1941.
Who never came home.
I was returning your call.
A man whose story.
Yes, ma'am, this Friday.
A granddaughter has been desperately trying to find. But if you want answers, this is the right granddaughter to have.
This is Jolie Stewart with the Sheriff's Office.
In Kaufman County, Jolie Stewart has spent a career investigating and solving mysteries. Her grandfather's mystery was the one she needed to solve next.
He was in the tank. We'd known he was killed in Germany, and that was it. Buried in Belgium.
His name was Philip Snitches, a 27-year-old who died decades before Jolie was born. Even so, as a kid, her questions began.
I knew it hurt her to talk about it.
Especially in conversations with her widowed grandmother, whose picture she keeps on her office wall.
When I say I drove people crazy, I really did, asking these same questions.
Just because I gave her my
So a year ago, a trained investigator set out to find her grandfather's story. She had his letters. She had his voice. She had his music on all those old records. She did not have the story of how he died.
It was a difficult paper trail for sure.
She found detailed Army records where his tank went and when it crossed the Rhine River at the Battle of the Bulge.
I would get the map out and I would drop a pin in every place that they went.
Details that matched with his letters. Letters that near the end.
I mean, that was a horrible, horrible time.
Grew darker every day.
How his hands are frozen, his feet are frozen. It made me sad.
Especially the letter he wrote on a cold, clear night watching naive, fresh recruits marching to the front lines.
He knows that they're just hours away from death. And it was really sad.
All of it together was...
But a granddaughter wasn't the only one waiting for answers.
You accepted what you were told, and that was it.
In Dallas, a little brother
I won't ever forget it.
Waited a lifetime for those answers too.
Won't ever forget it.
Because even at 90 years old, you still remember the day your mom tells you your big brother is gone.
She, of course, grabbed a hold of me and hugged me and told me about Phil. And it was a shock. Excuse me.
This horse chokes me up.
Because this is where Jolie found a few precious details more. A website called Witness to War.
Heavy artillery was falling everywhere.
And the voice of a veteran named Andy Carpenter.
On the side of a hill.
He said he's with Company A of the 774 Tank Battalion. And I mean, my stomach did a flip. I was like, that's Phillips. That's where he was.
Jolie would learn her granddad was one of the first to cross a key strategic bridge into Germany, survived some of the heaviest fighting for 5 days. He died when the tank took a direct hit. And for years, a woman in Belgium adopted her grandfather's grave and cared for it, like he was one of her own.
It was an incredible feeling to finally have an idea or know what exactly he went through, because I'd never known before.
But one more question for Jolie and her great-uncle. Why travel so far back and dredge up so much pain? For a little brother, that answer is easy.
Kind of made me feel closer to him.
Because these aren't just stories, they're family, whose lives and sacrifices need to be remembered.
I was proud of what he went through. Very proud of him.
And it's, you know, something we should all be very proud of, those men.
Men whose sacrifices aren't forgotten, sometimes thanks to a curious little girl just wanting to keep her granddaddy's memory alive.
This is Philip Snitches, the lady I love.
In Kaufman County, Kevin Reese, Channel 8 News.